guy in Germany is so unserious. I'm not convinced that any of these couples are in love. And it's very much given like, how did we get here? How did we get here? But anyway, let's do a roundup. By far, I think the most unserious couple is Elias and Alina. Elias has just been so flagrant with his disrespect and his wandering eye and his thirst for Hany. And Alina is just begging, it seems like every 5 minutes, for Elias to leave this infatuation with Hany alone. And I just feel like, as a woman, why are you begging your man to stop having a wandering eye? Alina keeps saying she would never tolerate this behaviour in the past, but yet she's tolerating it. And simultaneously saying she's falling deeper in love with Elias. And I'm just so confused. Like, the fact, after all of this, they're making it to the altar is beyond me. Next on the list is Shella and Pascal. At least Pascal had the sense to end the engagement early, but him getting engaged to her in the first place when, like, it's unclear whether he liked her, let alone loved her, was just ridiculous to me and a waste of time. I personally think Pascal regretted proposing to Shella as soon as he did it, and every day on that holiday he was probably just thinking, why the hell did I do this? And despite what he was saying, it's very clear that he was not attracted to Shella. Shella's talking about she doesn't want to force Pascal, a man who is her fiance, to be physically affectionate to her. Literally, when she was trying to touch her hand while they were driving, it looked like he wanted to throw himself out of the car. I feel like Shella got the vibe that he wasn't attracted to her, but was trying to fool herself, think that they could make it work. I don't know why. But like I said, Pascal had the sense to call off the engagement early. But hey, at least they got a free holiday. Next up is Sally and Medina. I feel like the fact that the start of their engagement was Sally seeing him for the first time and running away really set the tone of how unserious their relationship is. Because, you know, regardless of why people think that she did it, this is meant to be somebody that she's in love with. This is her fiance. She literally ran off set the first time she saw him. Like, that's just unserious. On top of that, Medina just seems like an unserious guy in general. Even in the pods, he was talking about, you know, I struggle to, you know, not laugh at situations. I struggle not to, you know, make jokes out of everything. So overall, Medina just seems like an unserious guy. Sally is literally talking about my love language is words of affirmations. Can you say something nice about me? And he's talking about, why are you trying to change me? That's problematic. Huh? Unserious relationship. And it's kind of giving brother and sister, to be honest. They're literally engaged, and Medina only just now is talking about having butterflies in his stomach. What are we doing here? Next up, we have Toga and Sheila. Now, at first, they came off serious, but it went downhill real quick because of Toga and him playing games. And it became very clear that Toga was not on this show for the right reason. Him and Sheila are literally there on their engagement moon. This is meant to be the honeymoon period. And he's talking about, I'm sad, I'm oppressed. Everybody's doing well in their relationship, but we're not. Goodbye. It's very clear he was not serious about his relationship with Sheila. I feel like maybe he wanted her to beg for their relationship. He just wanted to play games. But overall, like, to be that cold that quickly, like, you're not serious. And also the fact that after they broke up, because Sheila was just like, okay, I'm not playing these games. Goodbye. She's gone home. Why is he still there? He's still there as a single man on holiday with all the engaged couples. Why are you still there, sir? You're unserious. But you know what? If you're there to scam a free holiday out of Netflix, why not take the piss further? It's very obvious that Toglo was on there for some clout. Next up, we have Jen and Marcel. Now, they seem to get on well in the pods, but one thing that I thought was quite strange is that they seem to have this fundamental difference, which is spirituality, which I felt like was going to come between them outside of the pods. In Marcel's confessional, he came in very hot and heavy talking about, you know, I gave my life to Jesus Christ. I'm a very spiritual person. I live a very moral way of life. I'm vegan. So, you know, I need somebody like on the same level as me on that. Jen does not match that, but yet they move forward. Like I said, they seem to get on well in the pods, but outside the pods, energy shifted. He didn't seem as charismatic. He was very quiet. He was very reserved. And that seems to be an issue for Jen because Jen likes, you know, a chassis patty man. She, you know, likes, you know, she wants her man to be her best friend. And Marcel was just moving a bit quiet. And he wasn't making an effort to improve that. He was very much like, you know, I'm quiet. That's just who I am. And they just weren't compatible. I think it's perfectly fine for Jen to want a chassis patty husband. But I think she's also ignoring the fact that Marcel has had a pretty traumatic childhood. And maybe that's why he's quiet. But at the same time, Marcel could definitely make an effort to talk more and he's just refusing. but at the same time he's saying he really wants this relationship to work, where he's not putting in the work. And he basically, when Jen comes with this final ultimatum to give him the opportunity to fight this relationship, he basically just gives up and is like, well, okay then. So again, unserious. But personally, I wouldn't mind having a quiet husband that doesn't like to talk. If everything else was going well and then he's quiet on top of that, that would have been perfect for me. But I definitely understand people who want to have have a chatty patty husband if they're a chatty patty wife. So personally, I feel like their issue could have been easily resolved, but they both were lazy. So again, unserious. And then last on the list of unserious couples is Hany and Daniel. Now, overall, no, they're still an unserious couple, but because all of the other couples are a bit more unserious, they don't look as unserious, but objectively they are an unserious couple. I feel like their whole relationship is run off sexual chemistry and nothing else. I don't feel an emotional connection between them. Hany, again, just disrespectful with this flirting, and Daniel trying to act like he's not jealous or trying to act like it's not an issue when it clearly is. All very weird and strange. Also, their dynamic is quite strange. Like, at first, Daniel was being really sweet, and then he switched up and was like basically taking the piss out of her outfits and stuff, and that whole energy exchange was quite weird. And then Hany's basically saying like, yeah, I do like it when like he takes the piss out of me a bit. I just don't get I just don't get those type of relationships. Personally, I think Hany has gotten away with murder, and Daniel has let her get away with it because she's hot. Like, the way that he talks about it, he was literally like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody as hot as Hany would go swimming and potentially mess up her hair. Like, just ridiculous. Like, I just feel like the relationship is so superficial. But yeah, that's my roundup. I just feel like all these couples are unserious. I'm wondering how we got here. But it is entertaining to watch. I can't lie. It is. But I gotta hear from you guys. Are you taking any of these couples seriously?